Good morning. Okay. Whew. I just ran down the stairs. Catch my breath. Okay, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I'm just going to wait another minute to see if anybody wants to jump on this morning. I think today's going to be a little bit of a challenging day because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. And it looked like, based on social media, that a lot of people are having a really, really good time. So today may be a little slow for a few people. And I can be patient with that, right? I ended up going to a Mexican restaurant and nobody was there. It was perfect. I went to bed early and I am up raring to go for today. I definitely needed a state of mind change this morning. I woke up and I had a great sleep. I got my workout in, and then I heard some really sad news about a friend who left this planet a little bit too early. So that threw me off. It totally threw me off. And I'm not bringing that into the story today, except with the message that you just don't know. You don't know when, you don't know how, but we're all here for a certain period of time, and it really matters what you do with that period of time. So I'm going to bring you into some Monday motivation. I just needed to shake that off this morning. All right, so listen, I made a post earlier this morning about focusing on your own shit and focusing on things that matter to you. And if there's something that happens with many, many people, is that they are constantly comparing their lives to other people's lives. And they think that they're supposed to be doing something else. And they think they're supposed to be living up to other people's expectations. And they think that their house is supposed to look different and their clothes are supposed to look different. And they're supposed to be in a different type of marriage or a different type of relationship. And there's just always this constant comparing to what other people are doing or what they're not doing. And the downside to that is this is what causes so much anxiety with people. This is what causes so much unhappiness with people. And listen, life comes at you in so many different directions, okay? And one of the things I would really love to be able to emphasize to people who are younger, if you can understand this at a younger age, it will so benefit you in a bigger way. The faster you get over shit that other people impose on you, or that stuff that goes on around you that pisses you off, because listen, life happens. People are jerks. You have bad bosses, you have bad jobs, you have unfortunate situations that happen. You have relationship breakups, you have problems with your kids, on and on and on. And so you have to make sure that you ask yourself, how much time am I going to devote to this? Make it very aware. Make yourself very aware that when there's a problem or a dilemma and that it throws you off your game, you ask yourself, okay, I'm gonna be pissed off about this for 2 hours, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. And listen, the bigger, heavier stuff takes more time, right? So allow yourself to take your crown off, be really pissed off for a while, and then put the crown back on and get back to work. Don't stay in the junk. I've had plenty of things. It's just the way that my universe is lined up. I've had plenty of things that have been very challenging for me, or people that have been very challenging for me, and some things weigh heavier on your heart and your soul, and those things take a little bit longer. You have circumstances, right? Like when my mom passed away, I was very young, and I felt that my mom got ripped off because she left too early. She didn't see a wedding. She didn't experience grandchildren. I felt extremely deep sadness for her, and it lasted a long time. And it lasted a long time because it had the merit to kind of go with that story. When I lost my dad, it was different. He lived a full life. He was there for all the stuff, right? So you have to make a really conscious awareness to how much am I giving to that other energy. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 things today. All right, 3 things. Okay. So here's my 3 things I want you to take away, because if you really want to start moving towards a place where you're going to feel happier and healthier, because I asked a question on my Instagram, wherever the purple circle is, story about if people are truly happy. Some people said yes, they're truly happy, and some people said no. And there are several pillars that people have to go through to work on that, why they're not happy. I'm going to give you a couple of takeaways today. First of all, and I just truly believe this, because you're kind of asking for it if you don't do number 1. You're just asking for problems and situations and all kinds of things to come awry. And that number 1 thing is you really have to really take ownership of your physical body. And there is so much outside forces to get us to not be aware of that. So look, you're gonna eat the pizza. Oh, drinking 5 beers a week is good for you, says the survey. Oh, wine is just as good as going to the gym. Chocolate's good for you. So there was a commercial on, I think it was like Stouffer's frozen dinner or something. And it had this guy who graduated from college, and he ate Stouffer's frozen dinner every night until he graduated from college. So here's the thing I just have to put out there. They gotcha. The food manufacturers, the media people, they know exactly what they're doing. They have you convinced this is how you should live. And then when you don't take care of your health and you don't take care of your body and you don't take care of your gut, then all kinds of other shit happens. Your whole body is imbalanced. Your gut doesn't have good health, so your brain doesn't have good health. In Chinese medicine, we have what they call the meridian system, your energy system that flows. So we are taking in more and more, and this is why I think kids have more allergies and people have more depression and people are just, their anxiety's off the charts, is because we are taking in buckets of chemicals. We are taking in tons of toxins from pesticides and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm not here to preach you to go on a diet. I'm here to say to you, you have to be more aware of how you're taking care of yourself, because all of those things have a deep effect on your brain health. They have a deep effect on your body health and how you feel, how you sleep, how you have aches and pains. It all is connected. And as you get older, it gets worse. Surprise, because then your hormones get involved and your hormones will go completely out of balance, and all kinds of shit starts happening to your body, and you have to wake up calls and remind you every day that we are very fragile. We're just fragile human beings, and you have to have an awareness around your health. It's so imperative. Okay, so that's my number 1. You have to have awareness. I'm not telling you how to eat. I'm just telling you to be aware of what you're eating. All right, remember, gut health is directly connected to your brain. That energy balance has to be in sync. Okay, number 2, you have to have a lot of self-awareness about who you are as a person. Do you feel that you're not accepted by others? Do you feel hopelessness? Do you feel loved or unloved? Do you feel that you have lack? When I work with people one-to-one, a lot of the times, again, their thought process is up here, where they have those wants and needs, but they can't connect it to the root cause of what's going on with them. So having that self-awareness and being able to really figure that out is super important. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, obviously, and the most, I should say the most, scale of 1 to 10. How much do you care about what other people think of you? What do you care? Do you care about how people think you look? Do you care about what people think that your house should look like, what your car you should be driving in, the image that you're putting out? Do you have a lot of weight on that? Do you feel that you're supposed to carry yourself in society like a certain way? How much weight do you put on that if you had a scale of 1 to 10? 1, I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Everything I do that's around me, I've done this for my own happiness and no other. You know, my daughter's 14 years old, and when she goes shopping, she shops at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls or whatnot. And I try to teach her to be a little bit frugal. And my message to her is, don't rule your life by labels. Now, I have no issue with anybody who wears them. But my point to my daughter is, if you see something that you love, and it, like, you look at a beautiful dress or a beautiful coat, and it's just, and you're like, oh my God, I absolutely love that. Like, I want to wear that to the next wedding or my whatever it might be. I love it. And you have that feeling, and it's a $300 dress, and you have the money, then you buy it. If you buy it, if it really makes you feel good, if it makes you feel beautiful, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you get caught up in, oh, I can't wear that, that's not X, or whatever it might be, I don't want her to have that feeling of, if I'm not wearing something that's super important, then people aren't going to think highly of me, right? So I'm hoping that she will learn that people will love her because she's just awesome, right? Now, my son doesn't really make a difference. I buy that kid jeans at Target, and he's like, whatever, as long as they fit me, I don't really care. He's got zero concern about his image except for his pickup truck. So listen, your self-awareness, you have to ask yourself the question, how much are you caught up in worrying about, I have not arrived in life based on what everybody else is doing, right? Do you think about that? How many times a day do you actually think about that? Do you say, I'm supposed to be doing this, or I should be doing that, or my life is boring, or whatever it is? You have to put numbers on it, scale it out. Are you that concerned about the outside world looking in? Okay, number 3. If you have little kids around, block their ears. Yeah. What the fuck do you want? Do you even know what you want? Do you have any idea what you want? Have you written down goals in the last year, 2 years, 3 years? Do you have a journal of things that you would like to dream and do? Do you have money put aside for things that you want to accomplish in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year? Do you create a vision board? Do you get together and even talk with your girlfriends about planning things other than the next girls' night out? Like, what are you doing to fill your soul? Yours, not your best friends, not your mothers, not your fathers, not your sisters, not your brothers, yours. What are you doing to fill your soul? Do you even pay attention to the talents and gifts that you have? Do you have anybody around you that's validating you on letting you know that you have talents and gifts that you should be using, but you're not? Unfortunately, through our lives, and it's not anybody's fault, but through our lives, we are conditioned. We are conditioned. Go to school, get a good job, have security, find a nice boyfriend or girlfriend, get married, have 2.5 kids, a puppy dog, and live happily ever after. There is very little discussion as we're growing up to carving out your goals and your passions and trying 10 things, 20 things, different things to figure out what you're really good at and what you suck at. And then when you realize you suck at a bunch of things, someone needs to say to you, okay, you suck at these things, don't do them. Don't pay attention to them. Hire people to do those for you. Delegate it out. Don't beat your head against the wall and say, oh my God, I suck at that. Okay? Acknowledge it. I suck at that. I'm not going to do that. Find out what really makes your heart beat. Find out what you absolutely love to do. And when you put all the stuff together, you start taking care of your health. You start to become really more aware of who you are. Hopefully, with a little bit of help, you will learn to laugh at yourself a little bit more. and realize that it's okay to have faults and flaws and issues and problems. It's not okay to beat yourself up every day. It's not okay to beat yourself up every day. And the reason why you beat yourself up is because you are living under the operating system of somebody else's idea of how you are supposed to live. Surprise. If you truly got up every day and did what you wanted to do by your own merit, your mental happiness would change instantly. And there's only one warning I'm going to give you. As you grow, right? Because we're either growing as human beings or we're dying, okay? Human beings, the purpose of you being on this planet Earth for a certain period of time, if you look at a baby, what happens when a baby is born? Every single milestone is about them growing. It's about them growing. It's about them learning. Then the hormones change and then they grow some more and then they start to become an adult. And then when they become an adult, they go through their 20s and when you're in your 20s, it's typically about like your ego self, right? Your big ego self, how I look and how my body looks and being sexy and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. Everything's about ego. Then you come into your 30s and it's all about responsibility. I'm supposed to be nailed down. I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to have a family, whatever it might be. That's like your responsibility part. Then you get into your 40s and it's all about reflection. It's all about reflection. You reflect back on shoulda, woulda, coulda, or you're in a really great place and you're reflecting back on life and reflecting back. And then you hit your 50s and you realize, you know what, all that stuff I worried about really didn't fucking matter. There was so much stuff I worried about that didn't fucking matter. So now here's my message to you. You are in a place where you can either go left or you can go right. And one way is the happiness road. And the other way is staying exactly where you are. So when you, as a human being, decide to grow, right? When you want to grow as a human being, you have to break outside your comfort zone, and it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. I talked about in a previous video with the elastic band, right? You stretch like an elastic, and then you stretch, and then you stretch, and then you stretch, and either one thing or the other happens. It either snaps and breaks, and you go right back to the beginning, or that elastic springs and it takes off and you go to the next level. And that is all a part of how a human being has to keep growing. So if you are focused and you have that vision board, those goals, those plans, and you get up every day and that's what you're paying attention to, and you're not paying attention to this shit, your life will change. It's easier said than done. And this is one of the things I help people with. I helped 2 people over this weekend. One was really more of a validation for me because someone was in a very sticky situation and my intuition was going off the rails and I knew exactly what was happening. And without her telling me, I knew exactly what was happening. And I just wanted to make sure that she was protecting herself because it was not a good situation. And everything that I was feeling and sensing, she confirmed that was exactly what was going on. Another person that I helped over the weekend was somebody who just was focusing on the wrong shit, focusing on stuff that we are convinced that we need to pay attention to. And as soon as I walked them or said a few key words about the gifts and the talents that are just not being paid attention to, all the light bulbs started going off in their own head. Okay. It was literally a 5-minute texting conversation. Honestly, that's all that it was. I spend that much time and I open the door into someone's mind that has just been shut. That's all that it is. Mentoring. This is how I feel about mentoring and helping people. Okay. It does not have to be, again, some 12-week, golden ticket package. It's really about having enough intuitive insight when I'm talking to clients that they have a door that's just closed. They haven't paid attention to, or they didn't realize that was there, or somebody has done so much damage to them that door is just sealed shut and it just needs to be reopened again. That is truly one of the best ways that you can reignite the happiness inside you that you have, because you have it in there. I just believe that everybody has it in there on a different level. So the third and final one is, what the fuck do you want? I am a big believer in vision boards. I love vision boards. It's funny when you sit down. I try to do one every year. You can do a short-term vision board, like 3 months to 6 months. You can do a 1-year vision board. You can do a 5-year. You can do a big thing. So it's all your own creativity. But when I do them and I lay out the poster board, because I try to get a big poster board, and I like cutting out pictures, or sometimes I'll do certain words on a computer and lay them all out. But when you first get started, it is a blank canvas, and you kind of get caught up in the, holy crap, what do I want? Like, what do I want? At this stage in my life, maybe I should just be happy. But then you get bored and you get stagnant, and it doesn't feel like you're growing. There are a couple little downsides to growing. That uncomfortableness I talked about, the stretching of the elastic. When you grow and you go out and you make yourself perhaps in part of your growth, and it doesn't have to be this way, but I put myself out there, right? I'm putting myself out there to do this. I have no idea what the feedback is going to be that I'm going to get. I have no idea if I'm really going to help people, but I know that I wanted to put myself out there. But anytime you put yourself out there and you start to grow and you start to become a little bit bigger than your regular self, one of the things that happens is you get feedback whether you like it or not. People will talk about you whether you like it or not. People will judge you whether you like it or not. The more you grow, you will have critics and you will have fans, and you will have people that love you and you will have people that hate you. And the strength comes from only focusing on what the positives and the people that you're helping. If you have a gift or talent, and that talent, right, is something like really small and specific, and it's only going to help a small and specific group of people, and you're worried about the other 80% of what they're going to think, why are you focusing on that? For what? Who gives a shit about what those people think? Who gives a shit? Years and years ago, I had a friend that came to me, and she told me about a gift that she had. A gift. It was an amazing gift. And when she said those words to me, well, I talk to dead people. I'm a medium. I talk to dead people. I'm like, oh my God, you're like a superhero. Like, why wouldn't you tell everybody about that? That's like unbelievable. That was my reaction. Right? Well, when someone has that gift, are you kidding me? Do you know how many people are going to think weird, bad, whatever? Who cares? That's not your concern at all. So if you want to get out there and do stand-up comedy, you want to go play a guitar, and you want to go be an artist. You want to do stuff that is completely the opposite of what your parents told you to do, or completely the opposite of what your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever wants you to do. That you have to find your own happiness inside. You have to. Okay, so please just take this Monday motivation away. Don't get up today and say to yourself, I have to go to a fucking job I hate, and I have to do shit that I don't want to do today, and I wish I could just go sit on a beach. Okay, well, if you really want to sit on a beach, then figure out today what you can do so the beach can happen. Figure that out. Find the shortest plan possible to make that happen. You might have to work really hard, because listen, taking care of your health, raising your awareness, and figuring out what the fuck you want. The problem is that once you put all that together, then there's work that needs to happen. There is work, but you're working on your own goals and objectives and plans. You're not working on somebody else's. And that's the difference. It won't feel like work. It'll feel like ambition. And a lot of people don't have ambition when they're unhappy. Those two typically don't go together. So speaking of ambition, I have to go get my butt out the door. So I love you guys. Happy Monday. Any questions? You know how to reach me. Send me a message.